stops, no one knows. We're going head into the unknown. Na, 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 na.
Well, hello, and happy Friday, everybody.
TGIF, guys.
TGIF. Hey, everyone. So just a heads up while we get started, I'll say hi to everybody. I have a limited amount of time this evening. I have some stuff I have to do with the kids. So I want to get through this, and I still have the Idaho 4 up. I didn't even change the damn stuff.
It's okay. It's okay. We're still kind of there.
Not okay.
We're still kind of there. Yeah,
all fine. Over the place. I'm just a flipping mess today. I don't feel good, so I'm like freezing, and I'm just a mess. So please just forgive me, and everything is.
We're just going to get through it. Yeah. We're going to do our trial watch 2023. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And someone lovely and more, Michelle is here with us. I know. Jen Lou says, you didn't change the marquee. I'm leaving. Happy early birthday, Jen Lou. It's almost your birthday. Almost your birthday. Here,
I'll change it. Shitski, Jen Lou.
I'm going to change it right now for you. I know. How did I not change the marquee? Like, how dumb.
It's so cute, too.
So,
it's like one of my favorite little things in there.
I know, it's one of mine too. And I'm like, okay, I got to get in the office, and I got to I have stuff I've got to do. And I started doing this instead, and now I'm a mess. Let me say hi to everybody. Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne. Hi, Valerie. Nadine. Hi, Alma. Hi, Deez Vegas. Allegedly. Well, hello there, sir.
Hello, our friend. How are you?
WV Holla Girl.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
It's stupid cold. It is. It's like stupid cold. Hi, Kentucky Lee. My Mel Mac. Hi, Jessica. Mitch.
Ooh.
Jane Doe. Hi, Jeannie.
Jane Doe. How
Sharon. You? Shamita. Hi, Anna. Salty C. Hi. Hi, Spicy Sugar. Spicy Sugar gets chills when the intro's
I like that one. Okay. Spicy Sugar. Okay.
Spicy Sugar. I miss Kay. Sunset Gazing.
Oh, I love that name too. Sunset Gazing.
I am the Lizard Queen, and I can do anything.
That is awesome, actually. You can do anything.
Well, now we know you can do anything. Hi, Inspector Gadget.
And you came from a really good spot. We love Allie, so thank you for being here.
Cool gamer. Anna. Hi, Cece.
Cece.
I think I got almost everybody. Let me see how anybody down here that I may have missed. Okay, so what?
S. Hockett. Hi, babe.
Hi, S. Hockett.
And on the case with Jeannie's here. Okay.
Got that one. Hi, Seth. Okay, so you guys are in for a treat tonight, because I'm telling you right now, my mind is a disaster. So hopefully Michelle can hold it down, because I'm all over the place. It is just like it's all clogged up. So I'm like, I'm struggling.
It's a little foggy up there today.
A little foggy up there. The last 2 days, I'm like, I kept telling my husband, I'm like, I'm getting sick. He's like, well, you look like you're fine. And I'm like, I can tell my body doesn't want to do this anymore. It's tired. It's done. It's sick. Hi, Britt. Hi, Crazy Mama.
Oh, Crazy Mama. How are you, love?
Hi, Candace. Hi, Ellen B. Hi, Ellie. I think I said hi to Ellie. Hey, baby cakes. So Crazy Mama. Hey, baby cakes.
Purple people eater.
Purple people. Hi, boo. Hi, boo.
Hi, boo. That's my name.
Yeah, man. So I constantly try to keep like a running list of all the trials that are coming up.
She
And I
does.
typically just post it in the Facebook group. And I was like, why don't I just post it in the Facebook group? Like I have this channel that has all you guys and like, let's come and talk about them. And see what you guys remember about these cases, if you remember these cases, and what you think about whether these people are going to end up taking a plea or not. So there's a lot of people on the list. So this is probably just going to be like a part one. And I know that it's not like 5,000 people that want to come in and hear about it, but it's important to me, and I love trials. And here we are. Aww,
Brittles. Thank you, baby.
Like I knew you would. I love you too, honey. Just an FYI, I expect a happy birthday on my actual birthday too. Yeah, unless I'm like totally done for tomorrow, you can absolutely have a happy birthday on your birthday.
Oh, Jen, you might get a voice recording too. You can get a voice message. Right,
Seth's
Dave?
birthday is Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday, Seth.
Sluice isn't in here, but Sluice Investigates' birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday. I missed that one. And hey, Allie.
Hi, Allie. Hi, Tamara. Hey, my beautiful human. Hi, Thelma and Louise.
That's so cool. Thelma's Louise. That's so cute.
Thelma's Louise. But I still, even no matter what, I still read it. Like I'm like, I have to tell myself that before I say it out loud. Otherwise, I just say Thelma and Louise.
Oh, Thelma and Louise.
Hi, Delaney.
Good to see you. 307 Mrs. Troy's here too.
Oh, is she? Why did I miss Mrs. Troy? Hi, Mrs. Troy. So I thought we'd go through them and, like I said, just see what you guys remember, because as I'm looking through like some of like the info on the cases, I'm like, man, I forgot that part. Man, I forgot that part. And so what I want to do, and I probably shouldn't say it on YouTube because then anybody else might want to do it, but whatever, it is what it is. I don't care. You know, I'm currently working on a Gannon video. It's just a short little video so that we can have like all the info, like in one spot, like before it goes to trial, and all the stuff that like we typically forget or we don't remember. So I'm putting that together, and I want to try to do that with a lot of these cases. And hi, Shauna. Hi, Kim.
Try and make like a case file in a sense that we have something to constantly reference back to, you know?
Right. Like, you know, we have these big lives where we talk about the cases and whatnot, but I just want to have like just the short, like, here it is. This is like the most important information you have to be able to have or know before you go into trial. And I'll tell you, thanks, Roxanne. I was changing out my marquee for Jen. So
it's so cool, isn't it? It's all purple.
I just let it go. I'm just like, let it go. Here, I'll let it change colors just for funsies. So what the hell was I even saying? I don't even know what I'm saying.
To be better prepared going into trial.
Thank you.
Being a little bit more familiar with the cases, but keeping it short, sweet, and simple too. That thing.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a mess.
My brain's working a little bit today.
Thank you. Just you guys just show me a little grace tonight. I'm just a little bit off.
Drop a purple heart to understand. It's fine.
drop a purple heart that you just totally understand what's wrong with me. At least somebody does. Okay, so everybody was like, are you going to cover Murdaugh? Are you going to cover? And here's the other issue I have. It's Murdaugh, and I want to call him Murdaugh. I always have, and I probably always will. Hi, Peyton. Hi, Aris. It's Murdaugh. It just drives me insane that it's a Murdaugh. So everybody's like, are you going to cover the Murdaugh trial? And I was like, I didn't really follow the case. Like, I knew kind of the gist of it and whatnot. And I was like, I don't know enough. Like, my favorite part of this, besides hanging out with you guys, is I like the research. That's actually my favorite part of this. I like to dig. I like to find. I like to match things together. Hi, Dominic. Don't worry about it. T looks like Michelle got you. I know. Michelle totally got me covered. She's totally composed. I'm like glowing in some weird light that I don't even know. I can't even care enough to fix at this time. I'm just like, fuck, I don't care.
I got a coffee and a cat hanging next to me. We got this tonight. No worries.
Oh, Kim, thank you for becoming a member.
Thank you, Kim.
Welcome. So, hi, DJs, or his DIM DJ. See, I can't fucking see. I don't even know what I'm doing. I probably should just go to bed.
Take a nap.
Oh, Seth, thank you.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, so everybody was asking if I was going to cover this trial, and I was like, well, I didn't do any research. Like, I knew the gist of it. I knew that there was a lot of like weird deaths and stuff around the whole thing. And there's my lovely Missy, who actually did dig into this case. Hi, Missy Laney. Yes.
Beautiful. I was loud. Hi, babe. I miss her. That's right. Go Birds. That's right.
I know. I miss Missy. Thank you, RJ Guest. I thought that you're creating the list of questions regarding Idaho was super helpful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And there's like these weird things that I have like quirks about that I do for like myself when it comes to cases. And I'm like, if I want this and my brain works this way, I'm sure there's probably somebody else in the world that might want this too, right? Oh, hold on. Oh. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second, Michelle.
Yeah, baby. I will be lurking tonight. Okay, Aries, you be careful. Miss, I'm so happy to see you. We all are. Oh my goodness. Doesn't her background is just like extra cool. She like totally did it up and it's great. Oh, I miss you. Yeah, so we're just going to go through some of these upcoming trials. T's getting her organization together so that when they do come up, we can just kind of go through them, go over the little reference points that we do know, and then head right in the trial. So whether you know it or not, you're good.
That's kind of how. That's kind of. I know. She's like, "Holy shit, Snacks! Your room looks awesome, T. I've been gone too long." Well, thank you. This is my new hot spot. Hi, Crime Sleuth. Then
it's the T zone.
Hi, Jeanette. I have the best intro in the studio ever. Because it's because of the colors.
It is.
But I have the most beautiful co-host over here as well.
Oh, so stop it.
So it's like eye candy all the way around. So you guys can ignore my glowing face.
She's got this awesome background going on. I got my lights tracing around.
You're so pretty though. Yours is like perfect. I'm like, I got on here with Michelle and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with my face. It's like, it's so lit up today. And it's probably because I have all these bright ass screens on my face. I'm like,
Michelle might bust in the flames. So if chat's paying attention, let a girl know. If I convulse in the flames, like, let me know. Help me.
Anybody who comes to the channel tonight, I apologize. This is not normally how disorganized I am. I mean, I do have some disorganization, but I'm normally pretty organized. Hi, Queen. Look at you guys. Look at all the wrenches coming out tonight.
Yeah, I'm coming out to play tonight.
I love it.
Love you, Jeanette.
I love it. So with the Murdaugh stuff, and everybody was talking about it, and then Brittany, I watched Brittany's channel, and Brittany starts covering it because we're like, somebody needs to cover it because none of us know what the hell's going on. And I got a serious case of FOMO, so I started watching the trial.
You sucker.
I totally did. I totally suckered in. I got suckered in. I watched the whole thing so far. But it's interesting watching a trial that you actually have no idea what is going to happen.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're going to talk about because I didn't follow the case. Like like I said, I know the gist of it, but I didn't even know, like, I had to like Google like the layout of the land, and like I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. I just knew that there was the wife and the son had the boating thing, and there was a housekeeper incident, and like I'm telling you, I just knew kind of the basics.
Your Google will go into overtime with this case. I will tell you that right now. It is that case. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting case. There's just a lot to it if you're just starting it.
It is. And I'm not going to go back and dig. I'm just going to watch. And I like watching trials anyway, because I think they're very interesting and they help, for people to kind of understand what there's, what's happening. Jen Lou is doing amazing recaps on the trial that makes it super simple to catch just the main points and all that. So that's also good. I know that there's a lot of channels that are like streaming the whole trial, but I like to watch it like 2 times the speed. So I like wait until later in the day and then I turn it on.
Jen Lou makes it funny too. Like she'll throw in her little jokes in there and I like it. It keeps it interesting as you're going.
Shit out of people. She can't even help it. She's like tries to be up there and be serious. She's like, nah, this guy's an idiot. I got to say something. I can't keep my mouth shut. I gotta say it. Crime. So then I'm trying to watch the trial, but keep dozing off all day and have to rewind. I appreciate the updates. Yeah. So I got the serious case of FOMO, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. And then what I realized is, since I don't know anything about the case, like it would have been really cool to have like a quick little 15, 20-minute video put together that tells me this is everything that I need to know about the case before I go to trial, because I never followed it. I like court trials, Eric said. Favorite part of any investigation. I actually like the interrogations, are probably one of my favorite parts. I like how they get them to say things that they didn't actually mean to say. And then I'm like, oh, you got caught. You got caught.
Right, Miss? It totally is.
What?
I'm so happy Missy's here. I can't help myself. We need Joe Pesci. This is some my cousin Vinny shiz.
It's kind of moving really slow. So hi LC. Sitting in my car eating Taco Bell after the gym. Life is good.
Oh, that is good.
So I keep saying so
It's your name. It's your word today. It's fine.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be like I just changed my StreamYard name to So I was watching it and I'm interested in it, but obviously we're only 2 days into testimony, so I'm not trying to like expect too much. But I messaged Missy earlier and I'm like, dude, like, why do people think this guy's guilty? Because so far they haven't done anything. I'm waiting for like some big bombshell to like happen. And I've not read any documents on the case. I don't know. I'm totally just, like I said, I don't know anything about it. So can anybody in the chat tell me why like people are adamant this guy's guilty?
They're very nervous as far as like a trial so far. They're very, very nervous and this is just talk because I haven't watched a bit of none of it yet, but that they feel as though there's not a strong enough case with all the supposed evidence that they, I guess, had.
I know. I was like, yeah, that's true.
He's a murderer. That's right. Spicy sugar.
So you haven't watched any of the trial yet?
I haven't watched none of it yet. I just started digging into it.
Because he's ugly and a bad person in real life.
Here we go. We'll take it.
Well, so a couple of the other admins were like, well, no, like it's because of like kind of everything with like there's a bunch of fraud stuff, which I knew that part. And then I know that he like hired the guy to like shoot him to make it so that like people would think that he was like somebody was after him.
So
and
got hurt
too. And I know that stuff, but I don't know. They said it's going to be a very long trial though. So I'm like, I don't know what I got myself into and why I decided to do this.
I totally agree with Missy on this one. Yes, it already happened in the media. Absolutely.
Well, in fairness, it hasn't happened for me. I don't know if the guy's guilty. I have no idea.
But I feel like the media already gave the media put out both sides in a sense. And then public opinion ran after that. And that's where that kind of blew up from. I think that's what she's trying to say.
Mainly because they looked at all the people with motive and he's the only one. We don't know much of the evidence because they kept it quiet. So you do believe there's going to be like Hi, Mez. Do you believe that there's going to be, and Punksy, I'm like, I can't even get a sentence out. There's so many cool people here.
Oh, Punksy.
Mama Michelle.
Oh, Dominic's here too. Did we not see Dominic earlier?
I saw Dominic earlier.
You did? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the Murdaugh carried generations of power, old money, corruption. I was told this is like watching like the old shows like Dynasty in Dallas. And,
right.
Like those. Like that's what like I'm gonna supposedly run into here. Hi, Valerie.
And there was something with the first responder on scene, and he gave his one second. He testified on.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No.
You did. You do it.
It says the officer who was first to respond to the scene where Alex Murdaugh's wife and son were found killed testified Thursday that one of the first things Murdaugh mentioned after the officer arrived was a boating accident involving his son years ago. I always have a hard time saying Murdaugh, a now disbarred attorney and member of a prominent legal family, is on trial in Waterboro, South Carolina for the murders of his wife, Margaret, and his son, Paul, who was 22 at the time, June 7th, 2021. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck months back. He's been getting threats, most of them benign stuff we don't take serious. Murdaugh can be heard saying on body camera footage played in court, I know that's what this is. Murdaugh's son, Paul, was allegedly the driver of the boat that wrecked in February 2019, killing 19-year-old Mallory Beach. At the time of his death, Paul Murdaugh was facing charges of boating under the influence, causing great bodily harm and causing death. He pleaded not guilty. Pleaded not guilty, and court records show the charges were dropped after his death. Green testified that Murdaugh offered this information right away, and he had not asked Murdaugh about it at all. Murdaugh has pleaded not guilty to the charges. He was at the scene when Green arrived, and although Murdaugh appeared to be upset, I didn't see any visible tears, Green testified. Murdaugh was visibly upset in court, though when footage from Green's body camera was shown to the jury, at one point wiping his eyes. The jury also heard the 911 call Murdaugh placed to report that he had found his wife and son shot and on the ground near his kennel on the family's property. I could tell he's shot in the head, and he's shot really bad, Murdaugh, speaking of his son, can be heard saying on the recording. Asked if they had shot themselves, he replied, oh no, hell no. In his cross-examination, Green, Murdaugh's defense attorney, sought to cast doubt on the procedures taken by the first law enforcement responders to preserve the integrity of the evidence on the scene. We knew this was going to be a thing. Anybody following this case knows about the first responder deal.
But that's very common. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know if that will hold a lot of weight. Hold on. Princess Megan Elsa has arrived.
Oh, our favorite name on YouTube.
I know. Just feel like I need to announce like it's royalty.
Yes. And Valerie's here too.
Hi, G.
Valerie and Muffy.
Muffy!
The Dragon Slayer.
I scream Muffy's name every time I see her in chat, and then I have to type it with a bunch of exclamations because I'm like, Muffy! Hi, Keybrace.
What did she say?
Okay, so there was a couple comments. Crime Sleuth, and you said there's an hour episode of something that you can send to me that I can catch up really quickly. I would love that if you send it. And then
it's really
Jeannie
good.
said the Snapchat is the bombshell. The fact his voice is on the recording 3 minutes prior to the murders. Okay, so you're speaking Chinese to me at this moment.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Hold on.
No idea. I don't know anything about the Snapchat. I don't know anything about that. I don't know.
Let me pull it up.
I'm over the visible tears thing. I don't like Murdaugh, but it's a weak argument to claim how someone should respond to death. X amount of words. If any of you guys are just coming in, tonight's a hot mess. Just either roll with it and hang out for the ride, or it might not be the best time for you to be here.
T, I'm going to send it to you right now.
What are you sending me? That part of what you're reading?
No. The Snapchat.
Oh, the Snapchat stuff. Okay.
And then I'll finish. You want me to finish the rest of this?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So the vehicle tracks weren't secured in any way, adding that any tracks that were there were driven over by multiple vehicles, law enforcement vehicles. Green was asked about where he and members of his agency were standing and walking, a spot he suggested was on top of an area where shots have been fired. Prosecutors accused Murdaugh of committing the murders to distract attention from a series of alleged illicit schemes he was running to stave off personal, legal, and financial ruin, according to court filings. Evidence will show the state claims that Murdaugh's alleged financial crimes were about to come to light when his son and wife were killed. Murdaugh faces 99 charges stemming from 19 grand jury indictments for various crimes, according to the state attorney general's office, including allegedly defrauding his clients and former law enforcement of nearly $9 million. Just last month, the attorney general's office announced Murdaugh had been indicted for tax evasion for failing to report almost $7 million of income earned through illegal acts, for which he allegedly owes the state almost $500,000. You're going to hear some of what was going on in Alex's life leading up to that day, stuff that happened that very day, stuff that was leading up to the perfect storm that was gathering. Lead prosecutor said in his opening statement Wednesday, after 2 days of jury selection ended with 12 trial jurors and 6 alternates being seated. The prosecution's opening statements were just theories. Hold on.
The prosecution's opening statements were garbage, in my opinion.
They totally right. Not a single witness will tell the jury that Murdaugh and Maggie's relationship was anything but loving. Paul, he said, was the apple of his father's eye. And exhibited by Snapchat video the jury will see from the night of the killings, showing the father and the son laughing and bonding over trees they planted. To find Alex Murdaugh guilty of murdering his son, you're going to have to accept that within an hour of bonding, that he executes him in a brutal fashion. Not believable. The prominence of the Murdaugh family name overshadows the trial. 3 generations of Murdaughs have served over 87 years as solicitor for the 14th Circuit, which oversaw prosecutions throughout the South Carolina lower country.
Okay.
Podcasts and documentaries have been made about the family and the murders. The Office of the South Carolina Attorney General, Alan Wilson, is prosecuting the case due to the family's close ties to the local solicitor's office.
Yeah, so that's why I knew they got the Attorney General in there for that reason.
But I think what I just sent you was the Snapchat, I hope.
Oh, okay, I'll take a look at it. So, I mean, that would be a bombshell to somebody like me who hasn't followed the case. I didn't know anything about there was a Snapchat that was already recording. I was actually wondering, listening to the testimony, why they keep talking about this phone, like being on his backside. You know, so obviously that makes sense now why it's going to be a bigger deal. The walls were coming down around him, and he knew he was going to be exposed. He had to act fast and was willing to take his wife and kid's life to spare him the embarrassment and the trouble. But what about his other kid? Why did that one get to be alive?
Is that one even there that day?
Hi, Sniper. My theory so far: killer ambushed Paul in the feed room with a 12 gauge, then took Paul's 300 blackout AR and shot Maggie as she was trying to get away. State has presented nothing indicating AM as the shooter. I like your theory. It makes a lot of sense to me. So do you think it was just the one person who was there and shot and killed them both with 2 different guns? I mean, but one perpetrator? So the other son didn't live there anymore.
Right.
Because he I knew he wasn't there, but I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't he want the Murdaugh murders are great. But yeah, well, the only problem with that, Karen, is that I'm a little far behind, and now the trial's already happening, and I'm listening to it.
Hey, Karen.
So, right, it's actually very interesting to me because of the fact that I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say anything, but I really only know like the bare minimum. So all the things that are said are interesting, like the whole phone thing. Well, I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention. Like, why is everybody's being asked about this flipping phone? Why is this so important? So I can see that. And then the other one is these flip-flop shoe impressions.
Mm-hmm.
So who had flip-flops on?
Did you see the video of him in the car after everything? He's still
no, I thought Law & Crime posted the videos, but I only heard it in the testimony. I didn't actually watch the video yet. Does he have flip-flops on?
I think so. I want you to say it.
See, Maz, you're just like me. So it's totally like, hey, wait, what? Maggie had flip-flops on. The mom did. So why is she pacing?
Hold on. Oh, where's the picture?
Oh, go get that food. My stomach's growling too. So hi, Disco. So Maggie had flip-flops on. I didn't mean for this to turn into a Murdaugh thing.
You can't help it. Oh,
I know I can't. I didn't. But I'm going to go through these other ones, and this is probably going to be a couple parts anyway because there's so many trials and stuff coming up. But I'm just going to wrap my mind around this real quick. Maggie did, but I haven't figured out the big deal about them yet. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I'm like, they talk about they compared them to her, and I'm like, okay, but like, why would she be pacing? So it has to be somebody else. But then they talk about that they're not very big, and I'm like, so does like Alex like have small feet? Like, what are we getting at here? And he looks guilty. Well, the guy looks like he's a flipping disaster. Like his whole life is blown up for sure. Okay, Dominic, no problem. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me.
Oh, I wish I could find the picture so I could show you guys if he can share it.
I know when trial comes, I know I'm like, that's why I'm like, I want to be prepared. I want to be prepared for all of these crazy cases. The story he's telling is BS. Well, I do find it interesting that they're really focused on the clothes and that he has no blood on him, but then the defense attorney says there is blood on his shorts. But like if he actually went and touched them, I can't imagine that he doesn't have more blood. So that part I'm kind of like, okay, I can see where that's going, especially with a white shirt on. But then they ask like they asked the lady detective today, I can't remember her name. So they said it Raglan. Oh shoot, I can't. They said it wrong, and then I was like trying to tell myself to remember it correctly. Hey, OMG, I gotta pee. Hey, WSAV had the video interview in the cop car on tonight. Yeah, I saw that Law and Crime had also posted it, so I'm gonna I'll watch that later too. Oh, Paul was collateral damage. Like he was going after the wife. So the wife was out there pacing. Huh.
And he's clean from head to toe in that video.
Yeah, there's just no way. And I don't want to get graphic, but I had I lost one of my pets pretty traumatically by a car, and I went out there and picked her up, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that was all. It was all. There was no way I was walking away from a spot. Imagine the way that they're describing Paul's injuries. Like, there's no way. It just doesn't make sense.
They said that they could see his brain stuff out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And even the defense attorney's like super graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how that's going to work out for you, because typically when everything is really graphic, then people want like an answer. They're adamant that they need somebody to blame. And I'm like, and they're wanting to blame your client.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's an interesting play. We'll see how that goes. It would be a very interesting. I'm surprised that they haven't actually made something out of it already. There's probably a show on that's similar to it. They always take little bits and pieces. They said it was like by his feet.
Yeah. Because they were able to see the brain, blood, hair, and skull matter from Paul in the ceiling of the kennels. She was also able to see fresh shoe impressions on the left side of the hangar building. She said the shoe impressions, flat sandal, flip-flop type shoes, appeared to match the shoes of Maggie that Maggie was wearing.
He said he was on the phone with a lawyer friend before he went to the kennel and told lawyer guy he would call him in the morning, but he didn't see what's at the kennel yet. Oh, I kind of know what you're talking about here, because they were talking about whether you can see this kennel area from the main house or not, and how far away it is. Oh God.
Yeah, because she didn't make it until like 1 a.m., right?
Okay, hold on, let me see. Sniper says, the state is making a huge deal about the blood pool around Paul, but no one has taken into account the minimum of 30 minutes allowing the blood to pool more in the immediate area. Well, I'm curious about why they're both making such a big deal about this water. Does anybody have an answer for that one? Like, these are kind of the questions I'm walking away with, like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Crime Sleuth. Are they deleting it? Yeah. Or is that for the 1 hour episode thing? If it's a link, you won't be able to put it in there anyway. You'll have to just message me with it, but or tell them where to find it, and then one of the mods can put the link in there. But yeah, you're absolutely welcome to put the link if that's what it is. She's trying to send me an hour episode of like kind of like a know everything about the Murdaugh case.
Does Crime Sleuth and have your info, Tay, or you want me to drop it?
Yeah, she has my email, or you can drop it in. It's criminality187@gmail. Or tell me where to find it, or if there's like a certain channel, then I can look there. The lack of blood on Paul is suspicious. The lack of blood on Paul is suspicious? Oh, I haven't I haven't figured that out yet. There's a lack of blood on him. I thought he was like soaked.
Oh, you gotta see that.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. That he's describing it so horrendous. Like how could the dad do that? Well, I guess from our world, we know that they can because they do all kinds of grotesque things with their family members. I mean, look at Anthony Tote, and look at Mike Jones, look at Chris Watts, Chris Coleman. You know, some would say Scott Peterson. You know, some would not. I think the implication with the water is that someone cleaned themselves up.
If you see the video, he is, for a guy having a white shirt on, it's pretty clean.
But wouldn't he go to the house and clean himself up? I mean, he's going to clean himself up right there in the dog kennel, maybe, I guess. Mallory said, see if he was trying to tamper with the scene by cleaning or trying to contaminate blood evidence. Oh, with water? Sinister soldier. Did you just put eagles in here? You silly goose.
Spell it out, spell it out, spell it out.
No.
Oh, wait, they did something last week, didn't they? I think.
I'm ignoring that right there, that whole thing you got going on.
I forgot somebody's a Giants fan. I forgot.
Yeah. I'm a
It's
Bears,
okay. My dad's a 49ers
Giants fan. It's like when I was on Gen Lou, we were singing the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Breaking it down for them, breaking it down.
If I'm not alive next week, you guys know why. I was outside too much.
Well, you know, my husband's a 49ers fan.
So is my dad.
Oh, like, really?
Big one. Yeah. Like I got a good half of the family 49ers fans. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
We called this though, how this was going to go.
The house is far from the kennels. I think it was a quick rinse off as to not track evidence into the house. Okay. Kim, I am in Cali and she is in Philly. Wash off there not to have matter in his house drains, maybe. Yeah, okay, I think you guys are all going with that. Washed away his footprints at the crime scene, cleaned himself up, and changed at his mother's. Oh, that's an interesting one.
I hate that I don't know too much.
Super Bowl. I'm going with the Chiefs versus the Niners in the Super Bowl.
My uncle thinks so too, Aries. That's where my uncle's going with it. Oh,
Muffy, welcome to my life. This is exactly where I'm at. I just had FOMO because everybody was talking about it and I didn't understand anything. Do I have the word red rum blocked? No, because I see it right now. That might be why the comments disappeared. Oh, you have the other way around? That probably is. It probably is blocked. That's probably why it's not coming in.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I might. You never know. Figure out. Shit can get crazy around here.
She's done dog poop before.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, how was the phone under the sun? But he said he picked it up and put it. I thought the phone was found on the son's butt. Like he sat it on top of him. Like Seth comes back for that. Go Niners. Carolyn, I did. I had a bad case of FOMO. Because I was like, they all know all this stuff about this case, and I don't know anything.
Look, Jen Lou said she would have broke it all the way down for you. We might need that, Jen. We might actually need that.
I would have broken it all down. No, I didn't hit up anybody until literally I asked Missy today, just a couple hours ago, like, why does anybody think this guy's guilty? Because I was not going to cover this case. I wasn't going to talk about it. I wasn't going to look at it. I wasn't nothing. I was going to move on with my life.
Oh, I see you too, BR.
Rooting for the Eagles. No.
I like you, Aries. There we go. Give the underdogs a shot. Come on.
Hi, BR. BR's all, yes, Niners.
I know. She comes in her Niners.
Half true crime, half football. This is how we roll around here. Okay. Actually, the part about the phone is interesting to me because of what he says in the body cam in the car when in the car was played. In the body cam in the car was played. Okay. What's interesting about what he says in the body cam in the car? I missed Mallory's comment. Oh, Sarah. Sarah says she's always been an Eagles fan, 20 years.
Sarah and Ellie. I see Ellie over there.
Latitude said paying attention to Idaho cases these days.
Yeah.
That's ironic because that's actually the first case on the list. There's another Idaho case. Actually, I'll share the list so that maybe we can. Otherwise, we've already been on here 40 minutes, and I'm like, we might
have to go to
might
the next
change
one.
it to a damn Murdaugh live and do this one later. Murdaugh live.
Murdaugh, yes, Murdaugh. I was doing it too.
Dang it.
Oh, Ellie. Yes.
I'll do like a Murdaugh / football.
Yeah, right. Our Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I saw it pop up on there, but I hadn't had time to watch it because I was already behind on the trial itself. So I wanted to catch up with that, and then I was working on the live for tonight because I wanted to talk about these trials. IMAX 2002. See that? Yeah. But now I'm like, literally, we're talking half Murdaugh, and you guys are telling me about that, and then the other half we're like telling each other like what our favorite football teams are. That's what I said. Welcome to the shit show. This is just how we're gonna do it tonight.
You're okay. You're okay.
Let me see. Melmac. Miss Melmac's comment. Let me go back up.
Can you say hi?
Oh, hold on.
Say hi to everybody.
I missed Jen's comment after I asked her the question. So he says he picked up Paul's phone and tried to do something with it. And after it popped out, oh, look, there's a baby. Now we're going to go into the dogs. So we're going to have
He's such a crybaby.
football, dogs, and Murdaugh.
And a cat will knock something over, I'm sure. All right, come on. You next.
Let's see. I just always root for whichever team looks better in their pants and jerseys.
I'll take it.
Ain't no shame in your game.
Not at all.
So he says that he tried to turn him over, and then the phone popped out, and he was going to do something, but he couldn't do anything with it, so he sat it down. I don't know. That was really weird how he said it. I do agree with that. Tried to do something with it. I don't know what that means. Is he going to call 911 with it? Okay, so this is a bombshell for me because I did not know this. I didn't know that he was actually caught on recording. Okay. Murdaugh murder mystery on court TV, and Murdaugh murder mystery with Nancy Grace. It was the word. It was just that word. See, told you it was going to go to puppies. Look, see, puppy's so cute. Oh my gosh. Like he's dying. Pick him back up.
Such a crybaby. This is
Yeah, like some little eye candy, little puppy eye candy. Let's see, Alex dropped the phones, so says he. I think he was concerned about what Paul had recorded. Oh, but he couldn't get into it because it was locked. So he was going to try to delete the recording. You think that? Huh. Let me see. So I wasn't going to do this, but go Cowboys, and don't even care who gets me.
Where's she at with them Cowboys? Don't even. Don't
It's
you
too
even.
late. Too late. Too late for you, Jen. Too late.
Fucking I knew somebody was gonna come in with the Cowboys. Knew it.
Kim's got the Patriots over here. We're all done, guys. There's no Cowboys. There's no Patriots. There's no Bears. There's no Giants. It's over for us for the year. The state offered zero explanation of how AM tried to turn Paul, nor did they state on what part of the bodies he attempted to check their pulse. They just said he should have blood on him. But I'm thinking that no matter where he tried to check their pulse, he should have blood on him. No?
Yeah.
That the blood is probably the only thing that's actually got me kind of going, okay, but there's still so much. Like we're only on day 2 of actual testimony, so.
My Missy. And there was nothing around the bodies, but that's what she was testifying to. Can you go back to that part? She said she didn't say where he checked for a pulse, but in a gripping reenactment agreed that if Mr. Murdaugh had touched pulse points on Paul's neck or wrist, he would have been covered in blood. As jurors have previously heard, the crime scene was especially violent and bloody. Paul being shot twice, once in the head, once in the chest with a shotgun, while Maggie was shot 5 times with an automatic rifle, with some of the bullets striking her when she had already fallen to the ground. Detective Rutland testified that she saw no knee prints or footprints in the blood around either victim. When asked about Mr. Murdaugh's shorts, shoes, hands, and so forth, to each question, she replied they were clean.
Yeah, yeah. I know this is. I'm kind of going with this too. A couple of people have said this in here. Like, why? Everybody else is like, it's pretty obvious that there was no life in them. Hi, Connie. It's pretty obvious that there was no life in them, but he's checking their pulse.
Yeah.
I don't believe the whole pulse thing. It was
you,
actually
Mac.
probably worse if he did do it and says he went to check their pulse. It's actually probably worse that he says that.
I think so. It's okay, Payne. I still love you.
Checking the pulse on their wrist would have been a no-go because their hands were under them. Paul's neck would have been a mess. Yeah, he's not touching his neck. But I'm just thinking, like, how he would have had, by touching them at all, he would have had it on his hands, and then he would have had it on him. And there's no way that he didn't touch anything on his own body after touching them.
Yeah.
Dominic, what did you miss? You missed football, puppies, and we're still talking about Murdaugh and never got into the trials that we were going to talk about.
It's Murdaugh Club.
I said right at the beginning this is going to be a crap show, and we never even talked about the topic we were going to talk about. Yeah, Ellie. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
basically gone. They said his face was left. Just his face. His brother was in the courtroom, and they said that he had to get up and leave because he couldn't handle hearing the details about his mom and his brother.
How horrific is that to have to sit in that courtroom? You have to compose yourself. How do you do that? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Right, Mallory.
Well, I think they had a pretty good explanation for this. Max 2002, they were talking about how she has Alzheimer's and that his dad was in the hospital, so she was home alone, and that people with Alzheimer's they struggle with nighttime, and so it's not uncommon that people would go and visit somebody with Alzheimer's that late.
Hey, LFT. How are you?
Dominic, I hope you feel better.
Oh yeah, Dominic, get better.
He said that he called his brothers after 911 and a little boy, really good friend that lives around the corner, but he didn't answer. He says his name later on. Okay, I remember that they said that he called the brothers, called somebody who didn't answer, and then does he call his mom and dad? Does he call them before finding the bodies or after? I don't remember that. Paul was on his hands. Yep. Hi, LFT. We will find out there was blood on his shorts and in his pockets. They did say, his attorney did say that he had blood on his shorts. Buster's on the witness list. Oh, that's gonna be tough. The Paul's thing is an issue because he's the one who said he touched them on the 911 call. The dispatcher literally said not to touch them. But he had already touched them before calling 911 if he touched them, according to him, right? That would mean he has to shoot Paul at close range. Okay, so do we have any idea like who died first, or does and I know, and the whole pacing thing with the shoes is still a big deal to me. Let's see. He should have had blood on the bottom of his shoes, maybe knees from kneeling to check pulse, and obviously his hands. Right. The little boy that lives around the corner. Is the little boy supposed to be Paul's friend? Is that the one that they're talking about? I think he sat in his vehicle the whole time he was on that 911 call and never touched them. Very possible. The wife was first? Okay. But she was the one that was running away, right? They say that she was like running away and got shot in the back and then went down and then he shot her in the head. The one gun is missing, so they have to do the comparison from the spent shell casings. Okay, so it's confirmed it was 2 guns, right? Am I wrong on that? It was actually 2 guns. And Kim says, OMG, mi amor, your puppy is so cute. Somebody asked what your puppy's name is, and you're muted, by the way. I'm going to get all serious.
I'm all types of jacked up right now.
Button. It's the last thing I did.
It's in there somewhere. We named him Philly. His name's Philly. We named him Philly Boy Garcia. Well, I named him Philly Boy Garcia. One of our favorite boxers in this city. One of them.
Okay, so the little boy is Paul's friend.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it'll confirm who was killed first next week. The one gun is okay if we do that. So we did that one. I think Maggie was pacing, looking for Alex. She wasn't supposed to bring Paul. Were they meeting there? Mellow Disco? Yeah, it's really weird that he would use 2 different guns.
Yeah.
Why would you use 2 guns? Was that part of the setup? And both guns are missing. Okay, so there's the whole thing about that he supposedly bought each of the boys a gun, right? And then, but Paul's was stolen, and then Paul got a new gun. Is one of those guns supposedly Paul's old or new gun? I think you guys are just like totally educating me.
Yeah, me too. I don't. Paul was already there. They were meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna go back up here so I can catch. Yes, a shotgun and a rifle. Okay. Didn't both of the grandparents die within a week or earlier of the murders of... Both of Alex's parents died? I'm going to have to get confirmation on that. Heard from a friend in the area, the trajectory of the shots and the wounds, which had residue, is very interesting. Feel shots started further away and gradually got closer. One was the 12 gauge, one was the 300 blackout. The 12 gauge shotgun shown in court has not been identified as Paul's murder weapon. Okay. Then instead of helping 911 find his house, he hangs up and calls relatives. The ambulance grab had to call dispatch to confirm because it's rural. He could have driven down the drive to help. Oh, to direct them. Yeah. Paul was already at the kennels, is what I'm understanding. But I don't understand why. I still don't understand why Maggie's pacing.
Either. I don't understand that.
Paul wasn't supposed to be there because Paul had been there earlier. Part of the plan to elude 2 killers if he's guilty, which I don't know. Honestly, I haven't formed an opinion yet. Hi, ATS. We were supposed to be talking about trials, and we got stuck on Murdaugh, and then here we are. We haven't moved.
Hey, ATS.
We haven't moved.
No. At Murdaugh.
Buster wasn't with him. He said he called him and he was on his way. Let's see. I thought Alec was at his mother's house that day. I heard that he went there that night, but I don't know about the day.
Yeah.
They did. They died after the murders. Wow. And by grandparents, you mean Alex's parents, right? Not Maggie's parents? No time to reload. Oh, shot. Boom, boom. After getting Paul, then Miss Maggie was on the run, quickly grabbed the second AR and boom, boom.
Do you think she was pacing? I don't know where you are, T, but
I'm up here.
Okay,
here. Do y'all think she was pacing because you heard the shots of Paul first? I'm not too familiar with the whole layout and where they were found. I'm not either. Since we're just going with it, we're just gonna go with it. We're just
No,
gonna,
on
we're
Google's.
gonna go with it. We're gonna do a whole nother. I'm gonna totally do this. I still want to do my trial live. Murdaugh, property. Okay. This is what I had to look up before because I didn't know what any of it looked like. I'm trying to find the layout of like where everything is. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna. I'll just put this over here, and we can look.
Do you want me to
together.
send you a few, T, or you just want to pick your own?
Yeah, you can send me some. That's fine. Let me just bring this up real quick. I'm telling y'all, Paul was the target. It was his case that was going to have Alex open the books. Oh, it was his case, the boating case. So that's why you think he went to being the boating case. What if he didn't see Paul until after he got Maggie? Yeah, with puppies. We're the true crime football mafia family with puppies. That's us. That's how we roll.
How we roll, Aries. We love you.
The issue I have is that I saw the body camera of him when the boat accident happened, and he just seemed sketchy.
T, I'm sending you from a couple different angles.
Okay.
I'll send the house.
Oh, okay. Would you mind sending that, Sniper? Would you be able to do that to my email? It's here. I'll put it in the chat. Or you can send it to my Facebook if that's easier. Whatever is easier for you. I'd like to see it. Or I can just go to Twitter and find it. And all the deaths happen with no cameras in sight. Well, yeah, because they would know that, right? I do think I saw the body cam with the boat. Because I remember, like, the two kids, I think it was one or two of the guys, like, standing off to the other side while he was over. I remember watching that, like, when this all first came out. Paul wasn't a nice kid. Okay, so Mallory's Beach estate was suing not only Alex, but Randall as well. Okay. Like a hitman. Okay, so ATS is kind of like me in the fact that we started watching the trial without knowing much about the case, only just the basics. Beyond that too, I can understand calling him to let him know what happened, but to advise him to come over wasn't a good idea. Yeah. Paul's truck was found down the road from the house. Was he leaving and saw his mom heading to the house? Okay, so then here's my question. Was the truck found close to where the mom's cell phone was found? Because I know that was also found somewhere far away, right? Not far, but away from the bodies. Oh no, yeah, you go hang out with the kiddos. This isn't going to be really long anyway. I've got about 25 more minutes, so that's why I'm like, well, I'm not even going to start my trial thing now because I wanted to do a whole thing on it. But that's fine because you guys are helping me so much.
We're learning this case. We didn't know much about.
No, I was reading a comment. I don't know if he's a nice kid or not. I don't know anything about him. Somebody up here said Paul was not a nice kid.
Hey, NorCal Jim, how are you?
Jim? Passing out homemade cookies. Thanks, Delina.
Oh.
Well, it makes sense since he was so clean, etc., and he looked like someone who won't get his hands dirty. But it's easier to kill your child if someone else does it. We need a SoCal gym. I don't know if I have any. I gotta find a gym around here then. From what I've seen on Paul, I don't want to victim shame, but I don't know, not nice from what I saw. Hold on, I have to cough. People said he was a shithead. And Don't start with me as lawyers. How the female talk to. Yeah. See this. I know it's like there's so much. There's so much. Okay, so this is like the entrance, right? And then you have this is the actual house. This is the actual house, right? If I say something wrong, you guys feel free to correct me because obviously this is. I said I don't know. I'm not. You guys are technically. I might as well just go back into the chat and you guys come up here. Okay, and then they do talk about the red roof and the white roof buildings. And then, did Sniper ever reply about that Twitter thing? I'm sorry, you guys, my brain is not working as well as I want it to be. No, a half a mile away. Hi, Marshall.
Marsh, how are you?
Oh, there's Sniper. Okay. Thank you, Sniper. Let's see. If he hired a hitman to kill himself, I'm sure he hired a hitman to kill his wife and son. Buster must be wonderful. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing is they're not trying to charge. They're trying to say that he actually committed the crime himself. They're not talking that he hired anybody, right? That's not part of what the whole thing is. What did Jen Lou say that you didn't know? Hold on, going back up. You needed help to get rid of evidence too because Maggie's phone was down the road. Yeah. Okay, so this is the thing is like I don't know where anybody's stuff was found. Hold on. Oh, let me go to Twitter real quick actually. I got the sniffles. Murdaugh. Everything's gonna be Murdaugh probably though. Who can read lips? This was Buster Murdaugh right after the first arriving. Yeah, let's throw this over here so you guys can see it. This is who can read lips.
Do we have anything else?
Anybody here read lips?
I'm semi-decent. Let me see. With my bad eyes.
Well, it's tough though. We don't know the context of what they're even discussing on the stand at this moment. So,
Do we have anything else?
Oh, him and his thin lips. That's a hard one.
yeah. So this is an interesting Canadian Wolverine. I was wondering about this whole chicken thing that's on top of there. Like, did they find like a bunch of chicken blood mixed in with this stuff? And Melmac, this was another question I had. Has anybody actually seen these threats? I mean, if they were, has he talked about these threats in like text messages or any type of social media that he was even being threatened? I wondered about that. Yeah, I know. I'm under the weather. I'm a little congested. I'm struggling a little bit. My head's a little congested. You can read lips? What did he say? He barely moves them. I know he's like. You think one of the dogs got the chicken? Yeah, there's a dead chicken laying around. There is a country rumor I like that Buster might be connected to Stephen Smith's death. Okay, which one's Stephen Smith? Oh wait, that's the one that Jen Lou was covering. Thank you, Connie. Maggie wanted a divorce. Paul's case going to court. Alex didn't want to give up his drug allowance money. So you think that that's why Buster isn't involved is because Buster doesn't have these problems and isn't going to cause these issues for him? Okay, I remember seeing that, yeah. Yep, I remember this now. LFT, thank you guys. I do. I remember that now. This is gonna be. That would be interesting. That's why I'm like, I know it's only 2 days in, and I'm like, okay, I know we're just setting the scene. That's what they're doing right now. They're just setting the scene.
Have any problem with it?
So just start at the top, take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see them, and you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was.
His attorney and the cops are. The female cop is like consoling him.
I'm so sorry.
Huh. Let's see. Spoiled rich kids. Yeah. Mel Mac, did she have that so she could figure out how much money she would get, though, if she did file for divorce? I'm curious about that. Melodisco started his interview with Sled saying the online community was threatening Paul over the boating accident. Then when asked if he was threatened on social media, he said no. So he's saying he wasn't threatened, but Paul was supposedly threatened, right? She's typing feverishly over there.
I'm sorry.
HBO has a really good documentary out right now on this called Low Country. Okay. On Murdaugh. I know that people are like, there's so many like podcasts and stuff. All the Murdaugh Minari suspect around the death of Stephen Smith. This breaks my heart. It was a hate crime, many believe, and rumor affair with one of the guys. That he was killed because he was having an affair with one of the guys, or that the guy he was having an affair with like didn't want to admit it, or that they, I don't know. That's a whole nother one. I'm gonna have to listen to Jen Luz on that. Ooh, Bree, send me a picture. Posted on, that Mo posted on Brit's Discord. Murdaugh diagram. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go right now and look at that.
And LFT has a ton of insight on this case.
LFT does?
Yes. I'm going to drop their channel link actually right now too, if you guys want to check out.
Oh yeah, Decipher podcast.
Yes, it's an awesome podcast, and you'll love Tia as well. Give me 1 second. Everything is so slow on my end tonight.
Ooh, okay. Let's bring this over here. Okay. This is intricate. I don't know if my brain can actually handle all of this tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't want to comprehend any of it. Not to scale. Not all items shown or measurements are approximate. Okay. So is this one of the crime scene text sketches? Because they have to do this when they're there to kind of point out where everything is. Or was this something that somebody like else made? Do we know? Oh, I love Kendall Ray.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mellow Disco. I'll take a look at it.
Thank you, Delana. Thank you, baby.
I wanted to put up the beach house as collateral for a loan. Maggie owned it though and said no. Okay, so there's obviously a lot of underlying things. Alec firm that same day discovered Alec had been stealing money from the firm. Meeting earlier that day, he was told from the firm he was being looked into. Then the Paul crap. Okay, so do you think this? So you guys all think this was planned? Like, do you think that he intentionally was going to do this to both, or that was it planned for one, the other one showed up, or was it just totally like he's pissed off, he's arguing with Paul, and this is what happens? I'm curious. He definitely hired someone to shoot them, and the tears of shock from seeing the bodies. So do you think the person shot them while he was standing there then? Because he would still have blood spatter on him, you would think, unless he's like further away. Unless he's the one that's pacing back and forth. This is the only thing I could come up with, this pacing thing. Like, it makes sense if he was the one pacing, right? Otherwise, I don't...
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to now spend hours after this, like completely into this case, because I feel like I'm just completely
have
lost.
dinner and go to bed.
I need to know more. I'm like there now. I'm going to watch that little hour documentary thingy and get into this one.
Oh, so everybody, yes, it was totally planned. Oh, Paul was collateral. Okay, Marshall says no, I believe he did it himself.
Oh, they said CNN has an amazing timeline.
And I'm like, no, I honestly don't have anything. I'm going to be very honest with you. This was not my topic.
We had baby notes on each little case.
I'm so unprepared for even talking about this case. Let me look it up right now. CNN timeline. Murdaugh. I wonder which one. Let's see. Because they have a few, actually. This one? This one? If he hired a shooter, that state's case is done for. They are stating that AM is the shooter. They can't change the charges or the theory halfway through the trial. No, they're done. They can't do that. Absolutely. I do have HBO. I'll try to watch that when I lay down.
It's the HBO one. I saw the there's one
There's a few different ones apparently, and Crime Smith did send me the other ones too, so we can look at those.
Oh, good. All right, send them to me when you get a chance.
Okay, I'll
Take a
send
look at it. Oh yeah,
He tried to make it look like a hit. Do you think that's why he used two different guns, or do you just think he didn't have time to reload and that's why he used two different guns? Why does he even have two different guns there if he's not planning on killing them both? Right?
Yeah. Hold on, Tim, I'm about to send you some. You want to play this?
Yeah. Delana says, yes, thank you guys for being here with us, as I don't have a clue what the hell I'm talking about, and you guys are helping fill in my blanks. Paul was intended to be there, but had to be dealt with by whoever did the crime. Oh, Paul was not intended to be there. I need to read that correctly.
See, check your messenger.
Okay. He was stealing money representing disabled and accident claims and then kept part of the settlements. I think he hired someone to kill both. Paula. Hi, Paula. He obviously was in massive debt, and Paul was definitely causing issues. So how would he hire somebody to do it if he actually does? If he has such debt? Does he? I mean, is he about to be in debt? Is that kind of the thing? I mean, that was the family hunting lodge. They had 25 guns there. So, Buster is the benefactor of $10 million if his dad Alex died of inflicted gun wound, changing his no flat tire. Go figure. I do know that little bit of it, that he was hoping that he could just give all the money to Buster and be done with it. And I think that he also, it was really the setup of him wanting to look at my family's targeted. I wonder if this is the timeline that you're referring to. No, that's not going to be it. That's not a good one. They have a few different ones, though. This is from July. Let's see this one. And why does he always look so different? Oh, this is kind of interesting. Over 3 generations, a member of the Murdaugh family has served as the 14th Circuit solicitor. Huh. This might be the one that you were talking about. That's a good one. Okay, I'll keep that one up for a minute now and go back to this diagram and see what I can see. Okay, so we got one victim's over here and the other victim's over here. So he's coming out of this feed room. I thought they talked about him being more inside of it, but that's okay. And then she's over here. Where is, do they have the marks for the shoe print? Tire, nope. Mark 8 is tire impressions, cartridge case, the shot shell wad, the shot shell, suspected biological matter. I want to know where the sandal prints are, footprints are, or shoe prints. Okay, in my opinion, Buster is only in the courtroom because he still feels like he will be getting his cash. Well, I don't think there's going to be any cash to be gotten after this. A lot of paid killers get told life insurance is big, and once it goes through, they get paid. Yeah. Yeah, HCS, the same here. And so I'm like, they're literally teaching us about the case as we go through.
It's a reverse live tonight.
It is. It's an absolutely reverse live. He used the shotgun to blow out his son's brains and a smaller gun on his wife. Do you have a thought process on why he did that though?
T, can you make that a little bigger?
What, this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge scheme in the city where he was buds with head of bank and family had too much control of the legal system. Also, the family of Maddie Paul's girlfriend, who died in the boating accident, was suing them for loss of life.
Right. Yeah.
YouTube is from here in South Carolina and has some good videos on all this. Karma. Okay, Eric Allen. I don't know who that is. Is that the channel name, Eric Allen? I'll look it up.
T, did you see where the shoe prints were supposed to be?
No, I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
Did somebody comment it in chat?
No. I was just looking at it.
They also reopened their housekeeper's case. I heard she's being exhumed. Actually, is that true? Hi, Shay.
Shay, baby. How are you? I stay on replay crew. Oh.
He's scheduled to testify for both the prosecution and the defense. That'll be interesting.
T, when you get a second, check what I sent you. It's from LFT. It's
Okay.
a good image.
He was about to be caught due to that boat accident civil suit. Well, if they were already looking into him from work, he was going to be caught anyway, right? I can't imagine an amount of money that would be enough to be okay with family being killed. The only time that this is even, I shouldn't even say, because it's never understandable or okay. But the only time I kind of go, like, it makes more sense, like as a mental health awareness type of thing, is when they killed the whole family and themselves. For like the whole, that's what I mean, like with mental illness or with mental health being a factor in it. That's the only time that I'm kind of like, there's obviously, like, they couldn't live without them, they couldn't live with them, they wanted it all to go together, they did the whole family. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't even know if I'm making any sense.
I'm making
The other one is just like, so it's so much more, it's always selfish, but it's so much more selfish in my opinion. You take out the family and then you're just like, what, now I'm just going to go on with my life and here I am, like Mr. Chris Watts.
Okay. Damn sure tried, didn't he?
I'm checking here. Okay, those are pictures. Can investigators learn from bullet trajectories? Is that what I'm looking at, honey?
Yeah, one's like an actual video. It's a 6-minute video, which is actually really good, and then the other one's just an image. If you wanted to show that, they both came from LFT.
Thank you, LFT.
And I think me and Delana both drop the Cypher podcast in chat. If you guys please head on over, subscribe. They're amazing. And they're big on this case and helping us out over here. Because I got in like 2 minutes of that video, LFT. It's got a lot of good information in it. Explains it well, I should say. I don't want to give it up too much in case T plays it.
Well, I can't get the link to pop up. The first one. Can you take a screenshot? Is it like an image? Because it won't open.
Yeah.
You can take a screenshot and send that to me. That'd be awesome.
I got you, baby. I got you.
Britt, what case are you live on tonight? I know you're going live in like an hour. Are you covering Murdaugh again? Marshall says, "Oh, I'm going to Charleston to see my son in 2 weeks. I'm going to try to go. Hampton is 40 minutes from Charleston. I go right by the exit." Ooh. I can understand everyone in the family being killed, but keeping one son alive and killing the other and killing their mother. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, because then it's just like there's obviously just a lot more selfish motivation behind it or not even selfish. It's like sneaky motivation or nefarious motivation. I'm telling you guys, my brain is not on par tonight with what it should be. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me get this one. Let me save this. And then bring it up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay.
And you could probably put if you want to play the video from Ashley, the Ashley one, you could probably put it on 1.5 and it'll get it through within like 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay, so I'm curious. This one is different than this one, or does it travel down and then come out? What are they trying to say here? And then I'm assuming this is the back. No, this is the front of them. This is the back of them. This is the front of them. Because then she's shot in the front as well. Yeah, front, I'm assuming. We're covering Murdaugh on Manimal Live Reacts tonight. I don't know why I said live. There's no live in that. I don't even know where I read fucking live from. Well, the perp was right-handed. Yep. This case drives me nuts. All I see is selfish man. Yep. Not a member of the... Okay, let me see. I'm going to see if Brittany answered me. Yes, Jen Lou's doing an amazing job on this case. Everybody is...
Stop us.
You guys are all just going in here and screwing me. Murdaugh attempted to orchestrate a campaign to falsely blame Connor Cook for the boating crash that left one person dead. Did Brittany answer?
Wow, literally the whole chat knows this case.
I know. So in this,
Leslie,
based on the diagram and the damage to Paul's head isolated to the back of his head and all the blood in room 1, would think that the killer was in the feed room or an opposing doorway. I could see that. But if he falls this way, so does he get shot and then fall that way, or is he exiting and then gets shot and falls straight forward onto his hands? You see what I'm saying? All right, you guys got all my interest piqued.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, honey. I'm just gonna end it probably. I'm telling you,
you don't feel good. It's fine. You got to pick the kid up in like 10 minutes.
We're gonna watch this video though first. We're gonna watch this video first.
Yeah.
It's not very long. I just got to get it back up now.
It kind of explains the whole thing. And thank you, LFT, for that. That was awesome. And Britt, what time are you going live tonight? 9, 10 o'clock. We're past that. I'm going to drop Brittany's channel too, if you guys want to head on over there and check out some more of the Murdaugh case and Idaho 4 chit chat.
Oh, come on. Don't play games. Do what I want you to do. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go do this. I'm going to mute so that there's not an echo.
Okay.
He was shot, 5 times and was found face down on a cement path. There were some things, though, that were really curious. Shot through the abdomen, and somehow it made it all the way up to her brain. And then also shot in the left wrist, left thigh, back of the scalp, and then the upper abdomen. She was 30 yards away from Paul. She was shot with a rifle. And Paul, he was shot with a shotgun, also found face down. He was shot in the shoulder and the head. And he was also shot in the chest. And 2 different types of ammunition were used. That's just so confusing. Look at those 2 directions. One shot goes up, and the other one shot goes up another way. I want to bring in Joseph Scott Morgan. He's a certified death investigator. He's also a distinguished scholar of applied forensics at Jacksonville State University. I couldn't make any sense of the trajectories of those bullets.
Well, she actually asked, and I can't make any sense of the trajectory of those bullets either. It just is so confusing to me. I'm like, wait a minute. Now that's going this way. How did he get shot from, like, down? I don't understand that. Where did it go? Like this one. Where does that shot come from? Is that when he's already laying down? No, I guess we'll listen to the expert.
Distinguished scholar of applied forensics at Jacksonville State University. I couldn't make any sense of the trajectories of those bullets, but I know you can, so help me out.
Yeah, it's rather layered and complicated. Let's talk about Paul first, if you don't mind, Ash. He's got 2 gunshot wounds, which are actually shotgun wounds. And as you mentioned, this is very curious. The writer of this report, who, by the way, is not a physician, this is not the autopsy report, please understand that. The injuries that he sustained are, in fact, as a result of the first wound, and this is not indicating sequence of wounds. It's just they're numbered this way.
Okay.
First one is from birdshot, all right, which is for small game. This is the one that this individual has identified as taking out the back of Paul's skull. I have a model here where we're looking at a skull. It would have impacted this area coming up from the left shoulder, impacting the occipital area, occipital parietal area, and kind of blown this out. Okay. And he's saying that the brain has essentially, it's absent from the cranial vault, the interior of the skull. So it's got this kind of weird trajectory going out. It's passed through the neck and up. So that's a very acute angle with him. And there's no soot, there's no stippling on that, which means that the debris from the firing would have been deposited on the wound. That's not there in the shot. However, when you go to his chest,
the shooter's far away, right? For the stippling not to be there.
It would have fallen away. On the chest, that was with buckshot. There's 8 pellets, 32 caliber, essentially. And so there is stippling there, Ash. Oh. That means that this shot was up close. It was up close enough so that you have unburned gunpowder that's impacting onto this wound, according to this individual. Now we go to Maggie. In her perspective, there are multiple gunshot wounds, but this is the key. And they're in these odd, weird, twisted kind of, she's got one through her wrist. Very strange. Yeah, and then one through her thigh.
Look at how the one on the right goes from her hip, and it goes upward through her chest area, shoulder, and into her brain. But then the other one comes from the other direction, across her wrist and across her abdomen and out. And then still another one goes through the wrist and possibly the thigh. And the 5th one down through the skull. Is this someone shooting her as she's falling? Because there's some description that it seemed like she was on her knees, leaning over with her shoulders and her head down, and maybe holding herself up with her right her right arm.
Yeah.
Does that make
There's-
sense with
yeah,
those
it's dynamic.
directions?
Right. And by the way, folks did a great job with this image. However, we have to understand that's two-dimensional image. We work in a 3D world. So it's very dynamic, yet twisting and turning. She's got a wound that passes through her wrist. Many times we would say, that's a reflexive injury like that.
Sure.
But she's also got another one in her side. But there's a progression with these injuries. You get up to one, and the one in the back of her head is actually, there's a deposition of soot there. You know what that's an indication of, Ash? That's an indication of being in a position of dominance, asymmetry to her, dominating over her. It's almost in the form of an execution style shot. So she is probably moving away from the shooter at this point in time, and he's firing down range at her as she is moving away. She goes down to the ground. Again, she's twisting. She's aware that she's been shot. And then finally, the coup de grace is he's on top of her and fires down into her head. Now, what position she was in, I have no idea at that time.
It's so hard to fathom all of this. It just sounds like you're describing a movie, and you're not. And that's what's so tragic. I do want to ask you, though, about this confuses me, but both a shotgun and a rifle are used. A shotgun on Paul and a rifle on Maggie. And then on Paul, like you said, buckshot and birdshot. Can one person really do all that?
Well, it would seem that at least that's the appearance. To me, okay, there's an indication of deception here. You've got two separate types of ammo for the shotgun: birdshot and buckshot. Most people, you load it one or either one of these,
the other,
not a mixture. And why two long arms, which are shoulder-fired arms? Generally, with a rifle, shoulder-fired, you have a sidearm, a pistol on your side, and you can transition. People in law enforcement, military do that. This is an oddball case, Ash. I want to state that plainly here. I've never come across a case where we have two long guns being fired by one individual. I can't really frame this in any other sense other than, was the purpose here to deceive, to create an illusion that maybe there was more than one shooter?
Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation.
Okay, that's interesting. That is very confusing to me, and I think that his last point thereof was this to create the illusion that there was more than one shooter. Or was there more than one shooter? So,
number one.
The prosecution's going to have to really be able to show that that's not possible, that it has to be him. And I don't know. You guys. You guys might have me stuck. You might have me. Dang it. I was adamant that I wasn't going to do this.
Told you, it's
too much history that I've missed, and I can't handle it.
Especially the stuff you like to know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, yeah, and I really enjoy doing all of my own research. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of documentaries, and I appreciate other channels who cover a lot of the topics that I like to listen to get different perspectives on information I already have in my own head. It's a very different approach when I don't know crap about it, and here we are. Well, okay, I guess I'll change out that thumbnail to get schooled on Murdaugh.
Chat teaches us night.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. I'm not sold that he did it yet because I feel others may have motive, not necessarily with Mom though, but Alex is so corrupt and ruthless, I'm leaning on guilty. Well, I guess that would be kind of the question. There's so much more information I need to be able to make any determination. But I do feel like one of the reasons I brought it up at the beginning was because it's such an interesting perspective, not knowing, and then sitting here and listening to the trial, waiting, is something, something going to happen? Are they, when am I going to hear this big, that's it moment,
Exactly.
You start to feel above the law, the boat incident, and then the murder are perfect examples. Yeah.
I agree with that. I totally agree.
It's hard jumping into a case at trial. It's easier to jump into a case from the beginning. Right. Yep. Or at least very close to the beginning. Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like years behind, but it does give me a really interesting perspective. So I'll take it because I don't typically look at it from this point of view.
I mean, you guys gave us so many angles to even go at too. I mean, my goodness, I wouldn't have been able to research all of these different points and insights and different things like that. And a couple nights. So I'm very thankful for that. I jotted down even some things that you guys had mentioned so I could go take a look at it too.
Right. It'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then hopefully I'm feeling better tomorrow, or if not Monday, and we'll do the trial, just a brief little trial. Here's your trials that are coming up, or what's happening with them.
I still think it's a good idea to do.
Well, yeah, that's what I want. I like it. Hi, Designing My Life. I didn't even see you hop in here.
Oh, hello. I didn't see her neither.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait. I'm gonna wait it out. I hope this trial isn't like 6 weeks long, because I can't do this every day. They had something huge. One would think the state would have had at least mentioned it in their opening. Instead, we heard about a brewing storm. Yeah, and he repeated himself with that, like multiple times, like just like the storm is brewing outside. Like I think that he thought that was gonna sound good, but it didn't, like at all. I was like, what? And then he said it again. I'm like, ooh, cringe. Like,
yeah.
What? I didn't really like the defense's opening statement either. So I wasn't a fan of either one. I can tell that the defense attorney, though, he's fiery, and I kind of like that, because I'm like, what was it? I think it was in today's testimony. And he was like, if she's going to continue to ask this question or whatever, and he was like, then we need to remove the jury. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. You're going to be a fun attorney. Yeah. See, and Brittany, you were like, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. And now you're stuck. See, I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole, and now here I am.
You're stuck.
She makes fun of him. I just love Emily D. Baker. She's just amazing anyway.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys all for hanging out and just crazy, weird live that we just did. And I'll try to make it up to you. I hope that you at least enjoyed it somewhat.
We had our Friday night hangout. Got into some Murdaugh. We're fine.
Yeah,
Talked some football.
Friday.
Great.
Hang out and talk Murdaugh.
That's
That was
it.
already cool.
And Mallory's just in the friggin' rabbit hole.
I think she just lives in rabbit holes.
Yeah, me too.
She's got like little tunnels that take her from one rabbit hole to the next.
Yeah.
She doesn't even come out of them.
She has her secret like underground true crime world.
I know, that's
Beautiful
Mallory.
thing.
I already know all that. All right. Thank you guys. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for supporting us. If you don't mind, just hit the like button on your way out. The blah, 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 blah. The like button on your way out. Brittany's going live. Make sure that you're subbed to Decipher Podcast so that you can catch the updates on Murdaugh over there. And the Ward case studies does amazing on anything that she ever does. So yeah, absolutely. Did I watch Larry Milletti? No, that's a secondary thing I am also doing, but I'm like really concerned. I don't want to get stuff mixed up when I don't feel good and I'm like on Dayquil. I'm like, okay, I gotta just slow down. So I was behind on Larry Milletti, so I'm trying to catch up on that, because that is a case that I followed from the beginning.
Yes.
And
we'll make sure we do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I cover that at some point here in the next couple of weeks, because May deserves justice. She deserves to be found.
He bothers me
right.
too.
I'll see you guys on the flip side. If I'm feeling better tomorrow, I might do a live tomorrow. We'll see. Because I can't do 2 of these in a row. You guys will just be
no,
like,
you need to go get some rest and just relax. Go to sleep.
I love you all.
We love you guys. Thank you for being